Have you ever wanted to play Elden Ring but also not Elden Ring? Lords of the Fallen is that game, featuring all the UI and ambiguous lore that Elden Ring has with none of the intuitive world design and a whole lot less frames. I started this game because my wheel told me to, and when I made it past the opening cutscene and character creator where I was selected a class that doesn't restrict me to anything specific in the game, I was greeted with a lamp and a place that I imagine cave divers would call the Devil's Booty Hole, or something like that. The game makes it very clear what its claim to fame is, and that's the dual world mechanic. Axiom is the land of the living, Umbral is the land of the dead, and no matter where you are, you'll be dying in both. It's all accessed through the use of this nifty little lamp that allows you to phase through walls and cross bridges, and when you aren't using it to phase through walls like a dripped out ghost, you can use it to fully transition into the Umbral world. And Axiom looks beautiful in a beautiful way because of the Unreal Engine 5 tech the developers are using, but Umbral looks beautiful in a haunting way. Dude, that's so sick. It looks completely different than it did like not even when I was out here before. That's crazy. That's so cool. Go. Full circle, as they say. And now look, all the enemies are gone. All those giant Wickerman looking statues are gone. The fact that these developers somehow managed to craft two worlds and have them running simultaneously is seriously impressive. But with that being said, could it have any more frame rate issues? When warping to different vestiges around the world or loading into specific areas, you may as well make yourself a sandwich because your ass is going to be sitting there for a good sec while the game figures out what to show on the screen. The frame rate dropping is killing the momentum right now for me. As I continued into the early hours of the game, I would encounter various mini-bosses around the world before facing my greatest foe yet, Joe's Killer. In this game, when you're online, you can happen upon these little corpses that will lead you to an enemy. That enemy is responsible for leaving that corpse in the first place, and it's your civic duty to take them down. This game does what Elden Ring does, and that is giving you a whole lot of story, but golly do they make you work for it. The overarching goal is to cleanse 5 beacons of light, but that's for one ending. If you want the other ending, you have to complete tasks separate from the beacon cleansing. You'll meet a whole bunch of characters that will say so much and so little at the same time, all for you to interpret by reading some lore and an item description. It'd be telling you the most diabolical, world-shattering information all within the text of an item called crumpled up paper, and you never once think to look in there. So yes, the lore is there for the nerds that want to look at that. I love Mohu though, only because what the hell is even Mohu? There are other ways to see lore, but that requires you to be in Umbral to view it. And if you die in Umbral, then it's back to the nearest vestige point. Did I mention this game is like Elden Ring if Elden Ring was on clearance in a Ross store? Combat, specifically Souls-like combat, where you will get your ass beat over and over again until one of two things happens. You give up, or you give up your free time because you'll be grinding away until you complete it because mama didn't raise no bitch. In this game you have melee and magic to take down enemies, but you also have a properly designed ranged combat. By swapping to your ranged weapon, the camera closes in behind you and makes it a third person over the shoulder perspective. For once, ranged combat in a Souls-like is actually an option that you can take in a decent way. I still chose to play melee, and my dumbass chose to use a flail as my weapon of choice. And why did I choose this weapon as my primary, you may ask? Well, because upgrade materials are sparse in this world, as you need quite a few of them to upgrade them. So, I beat all the bosses except for the final one with this human head flail. Picture this, the most grotesque bosses like this pile of flesh with teeth and eyes, and I arrived to the battle with a ball and a stick. Boss designs may seem basic at first, but some of these have some second phases that are so impressive. I wish they were as difficult as they are impressive because I took some of these guys down within 5 attempts. I love Dervla, the Light Reaper, and especially Tancred. They all have great mechanics and difficulty. That's fine, she's dead anyways now. You're mine. Nice. Bye-bye. Bro said you're in for a treat. What do you mean you're in for a treat? Phase 2? I didn't think there was phase 2 bosses in this game. I don't like this. You know, you think my character would just go ahead and hit her in the head. Just end this right now. Ew. That is a crazy ass design. That's so fire. I love inventive boss designs. Or creative boss designs, I love it. The mini bosses are a different story because boy oh boy did these dudes piss me all the way off. Oh my god, she goes for the fucking heels. God, it's so fucking annoying. I'm stuck in the bleed. Dude, what the fuck? And it's not the actual boss encounter that pisses me all the way off, it's the fact that after you best the boss, you'll see their ass hanging out in the world ready to beat your ass as payback. I think every mini-boss that becomes a regular enemy in the world angers me to some extent, but none more than this archer lady and her stupid dog that attack me at the same time. One up close and the other at range, and the archer does an insane amount of damage. She cooked my shit left and right several times. Why does she do so much damage? Look at that shit. Dude, oh my god. Why is she so powerful? Like, what is her issue? Whether you enter Umbral by choice or by punishment for dying, you enter Umbral with your health in a withered state. Withered health is able to be regenerated from inflicting damage on enemies. If you die in Umbral, it's back to your nearest vestige point, loser. Have I mentioned that this game is great value Elden Ring? Here's more of that with my favorite enemy in the game. And by that, I mean I cannot stand this oversized mosquito that gives me the not so good suck and ends my miserable existence over and over again. With all this being said, I would make the comparison that this game is the McDonald's of Souls-likes. Not nearly as good or as consistent as In-N-Out, but not downright ass like Burger King. Fuck a Whopper. This is a B tier game.